Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm Corey.
And we are
Lit Libations.
Welcome
to part 2 out of potentially 3 or 4 of House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, we're really going to have to play that by ear. But this one's already getting a little long, so we decided to break it up into 2, but we're recording in one session.
All right. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I think, do you think we should release it closer together?
No. I do not.
We're going to push everything out then.
We're going to do it the way we do it.
All right.
Hashtag doing it.
All right. Oh, hard. Sorry.
Are we? Do you have anything we want to go over?
We are still experiencing mirth root. We don't have a drink for this one either.
Yeah, exactly. But it's gonna be good as fuck. So are we ready to get started?
Yeah, let's just get into it. Let's get right into it.
Okay, breathe. Kylie, look at your screen. Chapter 25. Hunt knows he fucked up bringing Bryce to the murder scene, and by revealing that it was Micah that Bryce saved that night. He followed Bryce through the city as she ran. Justinian called while he was flying and gave no new information on the Crystallos demon, but confirmed that the murder victim was a missing acolyte from Luna's temple. He has a whole speech planned out to apologize to Bryce when he hears her phone go off. Obviously, he had hung up with Justinian, but I didn't write that. But now he's like a speech. He follows her to the White Raven. When he tries to enter, the bouncer tries to block his entry. He's like, "No, you're not allowed. The line's over there." But Riso allows him in anyways, because Riso has his little favorites they lets into the place.
Is that the bouncer or the owner of the White Raven? Okay,
who's the owner of this house? He's the owner of the club.
Good.
Of the club. He finds Bryce sitting in a booth drinking something clear. He's like, whether that's what's a clear vodka. Or tequila. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not important.
He sits down with her. Then Juniper arrives. After introductions between Hunt and Juniper asks if they want some food. She's like, I'm starving. I danced all day.
Yeah, I burnt a lot of calories.
Of course.
Need to replenish them.
Of course. Bryce says she is having Bryce says she is having the liquid diet.
Oh.
And Hunt says that he does want some food. They order and Hunt orders something for Bryce. He's like, I've been watching her food order. I know that she likes chickpeas and chicken together.
Good.
Yeah.
So attentive.
So yummy. Oh, I thought you meant the meal.
No.
Chickpeas and chicken. You don't care what them. But this pisses her off. He's being a real alpha. Say it with me. Alpha-hole.
Add that to your drink list or whatever.
Yeah. To your drink list?
To your take a drink list trigger word.
Oh, yes.
So we did a drinking game last episode.
I forgot about that. When Bryce gets snippy with Hunt, Juniper asks if she had a long day at work. Before Bryce could take another sip, Hunt takes her glass and tells her not to be a cliche when having a rough day and be downing clear alcohol. Anyways, he sniffs the alcohol and he's shocked because it's not alcohol, it's water. Little bitch. Bryce tells him she doesn't drink. Ugh, not anymore.
Come on, Hunt, get a fucking clue.
Welcome to the new age. This is
she's been dropping clues this whole time that she's not vapid female.
And he's not picking him up.
No.
Men are stupid. Mm-hmm. And they suck. When he asks her why, she tells him to figure it out. Because it's not that hard. Obviously, it was the death of her best friend.
Yeah.
She goes to the bathroom and Juniper goes to check on her. As Hunt waits for Juniper and Bryce to return, Rune shows up.
He's always showing up.
Yeah, he is. Hunt asks him if he has any new information, and he doesn't. Riso called Rune to tell him Bryce was at the club, and Rune was concerned after Bryce's reaction at the murder scene and wanted to check up on her. Mm-hmm. Hunt and he's like, oh, and Rune's like, he's gonna guess that me and Bryce are not cousins.
He's gonna guess that we're closer than the cousins.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Hunt. Oh, I didn't know that. Hunt and Rune see Bryce and Juniper standing still in the middle of the dance floor talking. Rune tells Hunt that Bryce used to dance, that she would have gone to the ballet if she were able.
If she wasn't body shamed out of it.
Exactly. Hunt asked why she stopped, and Rune told him he would have to ask her. Oh, and Rune told him he would have to ask her, but she stopped dancing entirely after Danica's death. Hunt then realizes Bryce isn't a party girl at all. It's just she's just content letting the world think the worst of her.
Yeah, she is.
When Bryce sees Rune at the booth, she gives him a frosty look. Juniper tracks her gaze, and Bryce took one step towards them before the club exploded.
Oh
I
my
can't
gosh.
stop saying club.
Okay, but the club exploded. They're just laughing at.
I can't stop saying club.
It's fine.
And the club, it's okay. It's a good word. Yeah, but it did explode.
Yeah. Yeah, which is serious. It's a very serious thing.
Yeah, it is. It's extremely serious. We all need to get serious about it. Okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Chapter 26. 1 minute, Bryce is on her way to give Rune and Hunt a piece of her mind. And the next, the ground ripped from beneath her. The roof was coming down and she was lunging for Juniper. Her ears were ringing and her mouth had blood in it. That's not.
Maximus Tertian might like that.
That's not a place to do that. I'm apologizing. People might be dead.
They've left already.
Oh my God. Hunt was there telling her to get up, and Rune was helping Juniper up. Bryce looked over Juniper to make sure that she was safe and unharmed, and she didn't have one single scratch. Juniper screams at Bryce for protecting her. She slaps Bryce across the face and screams that she has made the drop, but Bryce hasn't.
Hey, you would be safe. I mean, I would be safe either way.
Yeah, she slaps her though. It's like she could have a head wound. She just took the fall for you.
That's true. That was a lot.
You smacked her in the head. It's not nice. Hunt tells her to give it a rest. Bryce is shell-shocked, but Juniper tells him to stay out of it. Rune gives Hunt an address to go wait for him there. He carries her down the street to Rune's house, and it's a dump. As we already previously established, it's the frat house of Rune Danon.
Okay.
He puts her on the couch and gets an ice pack, cloth, and water for Bryce, obviously. I'm sorry.
That wasn't that bad. That wasn't like an over obvious thing.
Okay. As she keeps staring at nothing, he cleans out her bloody ears. Why am I reading it like it's a news report? Do you hear it?
I do hear it. I do. Welcome to 2020. Talking about the murder of Danica Fendier in Crescent City.
I can't stop my voice from going down at the end of a freaking thing. As she starts cleaning her scuffed knees. Bryce tells him Juniper is up for a promotion and the summer season is starting soon. That was better.
Yeah,
I had to think about doing it. She is the understudy for 2 main roles in this city's crucial. I don't know what that is.
Crucial?
Oh.
That is good. That is so funny. I do that all the time when I'm by myself.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. The look you gave me, too. The look you gave me was so funny.
I was trying to think.
Crucial?
I did not do it like that.
No, it was so good. It was so funny. Oh my God, I'm crying.
Kylie cries every Audible episode.
That's true. It's so true. This season is crucial. She's not. This season's crucial.
I didn't know the context. It's even funnier.
It's not. It's ridiculous. It's, oh my God. I can't even believe that. If she got injured, it would interfere. Hunt tells her she made the drop and would have healed. Hunt tells her she made the drop and would have healed quickly. And he pries out some metal that is embedded in her knees. He disinfects her wound. Oh, yeah. She is kind of fucked up, isn't she?
Yeah.
That is when he notices the thick, angry-looking scar on her thigh. that she had never gotten it healed. He bends down to get a closer look. Bryce tells him, usually when a man is between her legs, they're not grimacing.
That's a good one.
That is good. That is when he realizes he is in fact kneeling between her legs and pulls back embarrassed. He looks straight forward and doesn't look
He just didn't say a goddamn word about it.
No, I'm joking. That was a reference from
Daylon Bryn.
Daylon Bryn.
Yes.
They discuss who would have done the bombing, and they wonder if it was the humans part of the rebellion.
Oh, yeah.
Rune confirms when he arrives, but mentions there was a small image of Luna's horn on the crate, as well as a symbol for the human rebellion.
So he did confirm that it was the humans, it seems.
There was a human so I don't know if that's confirmation. Because he says, like, there was a human symbol on the crate that, like, blew up the club. And then, like, what he thought was Luna's horn.
It could have been Luna's horn, or it could have been something else.
Yeah, that's true. It really could have been something else.
It was ambiguous.
Yeah. But he's like, I've confirmed that it's the humans.
Okay.
So, Hunt decides they need to interview Philip Briggs and make a call to him and makes a call to have him transferred from the prison he is at. Oh my God. And makes a call to have him transferred from the prison he is at to CC, Crescent City, so they can talk to him.
Okay, they just want to talk to Briggs.
I can't. Rune tells Bryce that the Autumn King now knows he's involved. Rune tells Bryce that the Autumn King now knows that he has involved Bryce in looking for the horn. He says the king is mad, and because Rune has involved Bryce in such dangerous things, she needs to have a live guard. A live-in guard. She needs to have a live-in guard.
I thought you meant live, as in just like always on duty.
No, it's a live-in guard. She needs to have a live-in guard.
Okay.
Rune says he will do it. But Bryce refuses. She says she already has Hunt, and she will have him move into the guest room.
Yeah, she'd rather have Hunt than Rune.
I'm going to tell you right now that it's not my notes. None of these things are my notes. I'm not missing words. Everything's spelled correctly.
You're just reading it different than how you intended yourself to read it.
I'm reading it.
Confusing.
I'm reading it a lot of ways. Rune notices Hunt looking between Bryce and Rune slowly. He worries that he may have figured out Bryce and him are actually siblings, not cousins.
Again?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
he's so worried about it.
He is. Rune asks if he can have access to the library at her work to see if he can find more information on the horn, because they have like archives from 15,000 years ago. Her and Hunt play dumb, but eventually Bryce agrees.
Because no one's supposed to know about
the library underneath the Antiquities Gallery. Mm-hmm. Rune asks Bryce if he can fill Declan and Flynn in and enlist their help. Bryce agrees, but she wants Declan's help piecing together Danica's whereabouts her last week alive. He wants a list. Mm-hmm. And Rune's like, sure, I'll do that. That's fine. Okay. After they leave, the Autumn King calls and tells him to keep an eye on Bryce and to make sure if the horn is found to not let the angels have it. Rune is snarky, and the AK... Who's the AK? Oh, the Autumn King. And the Autumn King tells him that he should be punished for involving Bryce in a confidential matter, but unfortunately, it would make him hard for him to look for the horn. Rune is glad that Bryce is not legitimate, not because he is protective of his status, but because of the Oracle foreseeing that the royal line ends with him. If Bryce was a legitimate heir, it could mean her untimely death. Because if it ends with him, that means Bryce would die before him.
Right. Because that makes sense. And that's why.
Yeah. I almost put the phone down like
I just said nothing. Okay. I have a lot of words and just said nothing.
I literally almost just put my phone down.
You're in the middle of a chapter.
I have a next chapter I thought for. I don't know. Chapter 27. Hunt and Bryce arrive at her building. Bryce is tired. She can barely remain standing, so she realizes her keys must be at the club still.
At the club, you mean?
Yeah, I tried to do it right that time. Hunt goes down to get the extra key from the doorman to get inside. She explains while putting her palm on the bespelled finger pad that she didn't make the drop because she was waiting to do it with Danica when they turned 27. Hunt figured as much and sees Danica's death as the reason Bryce stopped living her life. As Hunt looked around the apartment and Bryce realizes... As Hunt looks around the apartment and Bryce releases Syrinx from his crate, she further explains that Connor and Thorne were going to be their anchors. Hunt, who has never seen a friend mourn a friend the way Bryce does, asks Bryce if her and Danica were lovers. She tells him no. Connor and her, well, it was complicated. But when they died, a light went out in her.
Oh.
That's sad.
You laugh at the worst parts.
When Hunt was debating telling her he understood her feelings because of his own past, the phone begins to ring and says it's, quote, home calling. Bryce answers the phone and her mother who heard from Bryce answers the phone and her mother who heard about the bombing at the club asks her if she is okay. Bryce insists she is okay and tells her she can't talk because she has a guest over. Her mother obviously questions her about who it is, and Bryce laughs and tells her not to get her hopes up, and she will call tomorrow. Bryce tells Hunt she needs to find the killer or it's going to eat her alive.
Oh my gosh.
He tells her about the deal Micah made with him regarding this case and his freedom.
He tells Bryce?
Hunt does.
Okay. That's it.
Well, did I read it wrong?
No, I was just confirming that he did that in this moment because I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing.
It's a big deal. While he waited for her to judge him, she just tilted her head back and understood why he was being such a pain in the ass about the case.
Yes, he wants to get it solved.
Yeah. As she walks to her room, he checks out her curves. and then he apologizes for thinking she was a suspect and for being an alpha hole.
Aw.
I got shot. She tells him she tells him she's dealt with a lot of alpha holes and he isn't. No, she does say asshole actually. She tells him she has dealt with a lot of assholes and he isn't one of them. He offers to pick up food and she looks like she's about to say no when she relents and she's like, yeah, I'll have a burger or something.
Yeah.
After they eat, they head to their respective bedrooms to get cleaned up and go to bed. Hunt looks at the pictures on the dresser and there is one of Bryce and Danica in the desert, both looking banged up, but like happy.
Okay. Yep. That's important.
Oh, and then he finds one of her and her family. This is where he learns her stepfather. No, this is where he learns her stepfather is Randall Salago, a legendary war hero and sharpshooter.
He's human, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think humans have to fight in the war to like get freedom. Otherwise they get put in as slaves.
I don't remember.
I think that's it.
Oh, shoot.
He showers and goes to bed. Chapter 28.
He should have known about that 2 years ago when he looked into her file.
He said, I just must have not looked very hard.
Yeah,
is what
he
said.
didn't care that much at the time.
No. Hunt woke up to find Syrinx, the Chimera, snuggling with him. He'd slept so deeply he thought he missed Bryce getting up for work. He gets dressed and checks his phone for new messages. He finds the apartment empty when he goes to look, and Bryce is nowhere in sight. And he sets off to look for her again. Wait, okay, this is a lot.
Okay,
he finds the apartment empty. So he
wakes up, it's empty.
He finds the apartment empty. Bryce nowhere in sight, and he sets off to look for her, only to find her asleep in her bedroom.
Oh, I thought you said it was empty, Hunt. What the heck?
Dude, yeah, that's true.
She's like, my room is currently empty.
So the apartment's 100% empty. He is taken aback by the sight of her sleeping half naked.
Oh.
As he's about to leave her room, Juniper walks in with breakfast. Seeing Hunt half naked in Bryce's apartment early in the morning takes her by surprise, but she's like, not my fire, not my fight. Juniper and Bryce have a conversation about the bombing incident the previous night. Humans in Pangera are the suspects.
Oh, okay. They're the rebellion humans.
Juniper also fills in Bryce about the wrecked state of the club and the bounty set by Riso, the club owner.
He has a bounty on whoever
did it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Got it.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish the sentence, did I?
I don't know. I was just trying to clarify because I'm in a mirth root haze.
No, that's fair.
Okay.
Fury was likely to return because of the fucking bounty, which is ridiculous.
She's like
not because of your friend who could have died in the bombing.
She's got issues.
Fury kind of blows. I hate her.
You know what? You're acting like Connor. R.I.P. Connor. Ethan toward Bryce.
I mean, then Bryce
disappeared from the wolves, or from Ethan, and maybe just Ethan.
Yeah, for like a couple days.
No, it was years.
No, it was a couple days before. But then Ethan sent that text. So once Ethan sent that text, I'm assuming he never thought that like Bryce would. Wait, she probably never thought Ethan would want to be friends with her again.
Right, but maybe Fury is feeling the same way about Bryce. For some reason.
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
No, because
parallel.
I don't know. Potential, I suppose.
Okay.
Juniper then turns the conversation towards Hunt. She describes him as gorgeous. Mm-hmm. She teases Bryce about letting him stay with her. Bryce, who is irritated, tells her that Hunt is staying over only because it's part of his assignment to protect her. Juniper leaves for rehearsal, leaving some croissants for Bryce and Hunt.
Chocolate croissants?
Yeah.
Was it Danica's favorite?
Oh, I forgot that. Or maybe they haven't said it, but oh.
Yeah, both probably.
Oh. Yeah. Bryce and Hunt have breakfast, and Bryce calls Hunt an alpha hole, actually, this time. And she describes the behavior. It's like passive no, it's not passive. It's possessive.
It's the opposite of passive.
Bryce calls him an alpha hole, describing the behavior as possessive and aggressive. Hunt clarifies that he isn't interested in fucking her, doesn't have friends, and no interest in Bryce's clothing habits.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he insists that Bryce give him a set of keys to her apartment and add his name to the enchantments. Add his name to the enchantments in the place for his job as a protector.
Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Chapter 29. Okay. All right. Oh my God.
It's a lot. Good thing we split it.
Yeah. Chapter 29. There's so much more. Bryce and Hunt are walking to her work. Hunt asks Bryce what the deal is between her and Rune. She tells him about the fight they had when she was 16. But as angry as she is at Rune, she hates the Autumn King the most, with exception to maybe Sabine. She asks Hunt who is number one on his shit list, and she tells him, and he tells her Sandriel.
Okay. Yeah, Sandriel. I love how they have these silly little conversations though. Like,
it is cute.
Yeah. Who's on your shit list? Like,
yeah.
Who do you hate?
Yeah. Who do you want to seek revenge on?
Let's talk about it.
Bryce tells him if he ever wants to talk to her about anything, she's there to listen. He lets her know the same. When they reach the old square, Bryce asks Hunt if he has ever pressed the disc and made a wish, which he says he hasn't. Hunt asks Bryce what she wished for the first time she did it. She was 13 and she said she wished for bigger boobs. Hunt tells her it paid off, and in his mind he's like, yeah, I really fucking did. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay. It's curvy and got big boobs. Okay.
Love that for her. She asked him what he would wish for. In his head, he says it would be for all the Asteri and archangels to die.
Oh, shoot.
Instead, he tells her he is perfectly happy with his assets, so he would wish she wasn't such a pain in the ass.
Oh my gosh. Aww. That's funny.
Bryce, Hunt, and Rune are all in the library under Griffin Antiquities. We're moving forward. Hunt is researching the Crystallos, and Rune is looking for information on the horn. Lahaba asks Rune what it is like being a prince. When Bryce...
She's so nosy. I love it.
I love that for her. When Bryce and Hunt tease him about his status, Rune calls out Hunt. For what?
What?
I don't know.
Easy.
She's upside down.
Sorry, girlfriend. I'm sorry.
Bryce asks Bryce asks what the deal is between Hunt and... Bryce asks what the deal is between him and Hunt tells her one night Rune and him got into a fist fight during the Equinox ball or whatever. And Rune is looking through the books and is amazed. That's not one. Rune is looking through the books and is amazed. He asks why the books move.
Just moved on from the fight at the Equinox party so quickly.
Well, that's why they don't get along. They had a fist fight at the Equinox party.
And that's that.
That's the fact.
And now he's looking through books.
Rune is looking through the books and is amazed. He asks why the books move. Lahaba gets as far as telling him the books are special when Bryce stops her and tells him not to touch anything without permission. A green tome calls to him from atop a shelf.
A book?
It's like a book, yeah.
Like is calling to like?
Like
maybe?
is calling to like. That's how they call.
Do you hear that magical noise?
That's good.
It's too short if it was longer.
When he gets to it, he sees it's called Great Romance of the Fae. And he's like, oh, God. Bryce and Hunt again tease him about his book choice. And Bryce is like, if you wanted to look at porn or something like that, or read smut or something. Before he can start reading, Dex sends him a message with the intel Bryce wanted, and he forwards it to Bryce and Hunt. This is when Bryce discovers Danica was at the temple the night the horn was stolen. She insists that if Danica saw anything related to the horn, she would have reported it, though.
She would have told me.
Yeah. Or like someone.
Somebody.
Yeah, she knows duty and responsibility. While looking through Danica's location pings, Bryce notices one of the locations recorded was the night Danica and the pack went to Philip Briggs' bomb lab and busted him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Wait,
what? Yeah.
That was, yes. Yeah. She remembers Danica and Connor arriving home, and Bryce saw Connor all cut up. She sat him down at the kitchen table and cleaned up his cuts and patched him up. She saw how he kept looking at her lips and how his eyes light up, how lit up his eyes were. How
that makes sense. They were lit.
How he was allowing her to take care of him. She knew right then and there that it was time to stop running from her feelings and take the next step with Connor.
Aww.
When Bryson Hunt gets Rune's attention, he tells them the story of Prince Peleus.
I think it's Peleus.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Why'd you let me go on so long?
Payback. No,
He tells them the story of Prince Peleus and his wife, Lady Helena. They learn that at one time there were more than one starborn fae. They could have all been able to use the horn. That only the starborn fae can use.
Right.
But after Prince Peleus used its power to close the northern rift, it broke and can only be fixed with the light that is not light and magic that is not magic.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Nothing at all. Bryce and Rune talk about the Autumn King and why he wants the horn. Rune admits the Autumn King hates that Rune's starborn power is just a kernel of light and it's like a party trick.
Yeah.
Bryce tells Hunt that her own father has no interest in her because of her powers and lack thereof. Hunt suggests that they go to the Oracle to ask about the horn, and Bryce and Rune refuse, both citing they had bad experiences with her.
Did that one time.
And that was horrible.
Both of them.
Hunt tells him he will go himself. Hunt goes outside to answer a phone call. Rune takes the opportunity to tell Bryce he never cared about her power levels. And she tells him she knows.
She knows.
Rune leaves for a meeting. Hunt texts Bryce that they need to leave to head to the comitium in 5 minutes. While Bryce is getting ready to leave, Lahaba tells Bryce her cousin is dreamy and that it was nice having company down here, which makes Bryce sad. And she's like, I'll come back and hang out soon.
Lahaba's all alone, except when Bryce is there.
I agree.
No.
Chapter 30. As they walk toward the elevator in the lobby of the comitium, Hunt notices a legionary checking out Bryce.
A legendary legionary. Checking Bryce out.
Yes.
Everyone's leering at her.
Yes. Before they get on the elevator, Bryce looks over her shoulder and sends him a flirty look. While in the elevator, Hunt is thinking about what they did before arriving at the comedium, which was picking up Bryce a new phone.
Okay.
She lost her phone from the bombing.
Yeah, it got blown up.
While waiting for the salesman to bring it out, Bryce played around on Hunt's phone and was horrified that he only had 36 pictures on his phone because he had it for 4 years. Like, who only has 36 pictures on their phone?
Yeah, I literally have 36,000 pictures on my phone.
Literally. And they're all of crime scene murder pictures.
There's only 4. And he's like I collected those for evidence. Really? 4 pictures from 4 different crime scenes?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's not useful anywhere. Sorry.
No. To rectify this, she takes a selfie of herself. In the elevator, Bryce casually asks what?
She takes a selfie of herself. I mean, to be fair, I guess no one else was in it.
In the elevator, Bryce casually asks about the legionary downstairs. Hunt doesn't know him, but tells Bryce she could set her sights higher than some guy who checks her ass out before getting to know her. As Hunt... Shut up, right?
That was stupid.
As Hunt leads Bryce to his room in the barracks, Bryce asks Hunt if he has a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And he does it, and he tells her that being born a single mother...
It's tough. It's tough out there. When you're born a single what the heck? Oh my god. It's a single mother since birth. It's so funny.
It's so funny. He wasn't born. I'm sorry. He wasn't born as a single mother. He was born to a single mother.
Okay.
Oh my god, and a maid, and his status didn't give him very many prospects. Very many prospects. That is the funniest thing that's ever happened.
The implications are wild.
Oh my god. He was once with someone who didn't care about his status, but it didn't end very well. Bryce asked how old he was when he made the drop. He was 28. It was a few days after his mother died, and he had a public anchor to do it. As for his power level and unique infinity for lightning, it didn't matter. 5 years after completing the drop, the halo tattoo was put on him, leaving him with the tiniest fraction of power. As Bryce watches Hunt pack clothes and weapons, she asks if he regrets taking part in the rebellion, and he says he doesn't know. She then asks why he hasn't decorated his room, and he explains that he didn't want to put down roots anywhere when he could be sold at any time. She asks why, with his lightning power and power levels, he wasn't the commander of the 33rd. Hunt tells her it's because he pisses people off and he doesn't care.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's so true.
Yeah.
On the ride back down the lobby, Bryce decides Hunt isn't a bad guy. Easy on the eyes, too. She remembers Danica and her discovering they could watch the legionaries work out on the nearby rooftop, and would watch them every lunch hour until the janitor caught them and kept the door locked after that.
And then called them creeps or perverts or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That's so funny.
I love that. In the lobby, Bryce realizes the lobby is full of Malakim.
Don't know what that means.
Nope. Hunt goes rigid next to her. She looks to the other side of the lobby where Micah has just entered with Sandriel. All the angels in the room kneel and bow their heads.
Okay, maybe the Malakim or Sandriel's like people or whatever.
So it's got to be something, because that's confusing as hell. Chapter 31. Bryce hears Isaiah whispering to Hunt to bow, but Hunt doesn't. He tells Hunt that Pollux isn't with her, and while some tension definitely does leave Hunt, he still does not bow.
Ooh.
He seems trapped in memories that fill him with rage and terror.
Oh my gosh.
She steps up beside him, brings out her phone, and starts snapping photos of Micah and Sandriel.
Oh, yeah.
Even a selfie
herself.
of herself as they head towards them. She thanks Hunt for bringing her to see them and hooks his arm with hers and leads him to the elevator. Hoping to leave before Micah and Sandriel catch up with them, she presses the button calling the elevator, but it's too late. Micah comes up and asks for them to explain themselves. Hunt tells him that they were there to get supplies and had clearance to bring Bryce with him.
Okay.
Isaiah's like, I did clear Bryce to go with Hunt.
All right.
Micah looks Bryce up and down, checking her out, and then he asks her to dinner.
That's crazy.
What's crazy is I didn't actually saw that as him like interested in her until they said it, like not that much later. I was like, I thought he was just asking her to dinner because
he like wanted to talk to her or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. It's weird.
But maybe, I guess it does make sense because why? I don't know. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, she gets in the elevator and says that she isn't interested.
And like blows him off so casually. It probably pisses him off because he is the archangel and he doesn't get shot down.
And he's hot too.
Oh, he's super hot.
It's established that he's really attractive.
Yeah, of course.
She gets in the elevator. Oh.
I said that. It's okay.
Hunt was trapped in terrible memories before Bryce whipped out her phone and pretended to be the vapid party girl everyone thought she was, giving him an out. He kept replaying her words to Micah, not interested. And he was like, oh my God, thank God. He's so happy. Hunt tells her they will have to leave by the rooftop doors and he will hold her. Bryce balks at the height when he picks her up and flies. Bryce digs her face into his neck and refuses to look. And he asks Bryce why she chooses to live in Old Square. And she tells him it's the one and only safe areas. It's one of the only safe areas for a half breed.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Hunt then asks if she meant what she said to Micah, and she insists that she meant it. Why should she want to date someone like him? He then asks her if she will go with him to the Oracle the next day, and she says no.
She doesn't want to go to the Oracle.
She really doesn't, and she said that. He needs to listen. Chapter 32.
Yeah.
Hunt drops Bryce off at work and decides to continue his research on the rooftop. Before sundown, Bryce and Syrinx. What is it? Syrinx leave the office, and Hunt and her report to each other that neither of them came up with anything in their research. Hunt asks if she would be okay if he watched a big Sunball game that evening. She teases him because he is such a guy. His phone rings. His phone rings, and he knows before he looks at it, it's Micah, and he has a job for him. As punishment for not bowing and Bryce refusing his offer for a date, he drops...
Rude?
I said that like it was the start of a sentence. Sorry. As punishment for not bowing and Bryce refusing his offer for a date, he drops Bryce off at home. Quick scene where a cougar shifter is begging Hunt to spare him, and he doesn't.
Oh, no.
It's very quick. Hunt goes to the barracks to shower and burn his guilt off and shame away again. He leaves earlier than usual because he told Bryce he wouldn't be late. He makes some phone calls and stops before getting back to Bryce's right before 11 p.m. As he's headed to his room, Bryce opens her bedroom door and tells him she recorded the game for him. Aww. He feels something uncomfortable in his chest and says night and closes the door.
That's hilarious.
I know.
He's like, what is this feeling?
And he's like, night.
Night.
Not,
I can't do it.
I can't. I'm not ready. I still love a Shahar.
A Shahar?
No, Shahar. I'm saying it right.
It's just, okay, yeah, you did.
You still love a Shahar. Is my accent?
It sounded like you said a Shahar.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Chapter 33. Hunt goes to the Oracle. He knows she has been asked He knows she has been asked already who stole the horn before, and she says it's veiled. So he asks her why someone would want to steal the horn. She tells him to open the doorway between worlds. That's crazy.
Wait, what does she say?
To open the doorway between worlds. That's why they want the horn. To open
that's
the
what
doorway
it does
between
when it works.
It doesn't only close doors, it opens them too. To reopen the northern rift, Hunt asks how that is possible since the horn is broken.
And she shrugs her shoulders.
Oh yeah. She tells him the horn can be healed. But how can it be healed is veiled to her. But how it can be healed is veiled to her.
Oh.
Frustrated, Hunt asks who would want to open the rift, and she says it is veiled to her. Because duh.
It's all veiled.
Everything's veiled. When he makes his frustrations known, she refers to him as the Lord of Lightning. Ooh, more lords of things.
That is
Lord of Bloodshed, Lord of Lightning.
Oh, Umbra Mortis, Shadow of Death, different languages.
Exactly. Shadow Daddy. Exactly.
Ooh, we have another. No, he's lightning.
Yeah, that's true. Rune would be more of a shadow thing.
Yeah.
And that he should be thankful the gods give the answers that they do. The oracle offers to give him a look into the future and he refuses. She seems offended at first, but then offers to tell him what happened when Bryce came to see her years ago.
That's a crazy thing to just throw out there without being asked.
I know. It's like, why ask if you're not going to give it to us? Because I want it.
She's like,
oh my God. Is this the...
It's this world's
cereal. But like not a nice version. The cereal was like a nice version.
To Pharaoh, yeah.
Yeah. He tells her that is Bryce's business, and when she pushes, Hunt continues to refuse. The oracle says he reminds her of which. Okay, the oracle says he reminds her of which was lost long ago, and she never thought it might appear again. I don't know what that means.
I do.
The oracle then warns Hunt to stay clear of Bryce Quinlan.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's interesting.
That's interesting. Chapter 34. Hunt comes out of the oracle.
Did you say guns?
I said go. I can't. These are not letters anymore. They're like something else. I'm reading it's like trying to read a children's Spanish book.
It wasn't good. I didn't expect that.
Hunt comes out of the oracle and tells Bryce and Rune what the oracle said about the horn. The only motive for the murders they can come up with is that these people found out who or why the horn was stolen. Bryce and Hunt think if the human rebellion is involved, they would need a powerful veneer on their side to summon the demon. Rune, thinking on his research of the horn being sentient, has a hypothesis that the horn may be able to be healed.
Oh, yeah.
While Bryce and Rune thinks it's a dead end, While Bryce and Hunt think it's a dead end, Rune decides to talk to a few med witches and see what their thoughts are. Back in the library, Bryce catches Hunt staring at her again. She asks him why. He asks her why the oracle warned him away from her. Bryce admits the oracle has reasons to be angry with her. She tells Hunt that when she was 13, her mother went through a sort of crisis in conscience, and she felt that she was keeping Bryce from learning about her Fae heritage. She contacted Bryce's biological father, and 2 weeks later, papers came declaring her a full civitas, with the stipulation that she would have to pledge herself to the House of Sky and Breath.
Okay, so she's becoming a full civilian.
Yeah, this was a couple years ago.
Okay, but she had to pledge herself to House and Breath. Okay.
Yeah. Bryce refused, but her mother told her it would grant her more options. And so after a couple weeks, she relented and decided to meet her father. The first few days, it was fine. She liked what she saw in her father, and her father wasn't a bad guy. She liked Rune, obviously her brother, and the other Fae children teased her about being a half-breed, but she didn't care because she wasn't ashamed of her human heritage. Her father took her to the oracle, as is a rite of passage for the Fae at that age.
Okay.
And the oracle looked into the smoke and screamed. She clawed at her eyes, and rumor has it she was blind for a week. That's so crazy. Do you know what she saw? Was it like scratch out your eyes worthy? Because this felt so dramatic.
It said she was scratching at her eyes?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, she screamed and clawed at her eyes and was blind for a week.
Yeah, maybe.
Would you say that? Like that warranted that reaction?
Yeah, and you'll see why, but it's not like scary. It's just it's something else.
Okay. I just always thought that was just like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's dramatic.
So
Calm down,
dramatic.
Oracle.
Yeah.
Man, I'm only 13.
Literally. When Bryce left the room, her father called her a worthless disgrace and left her and drove off, leaving her there.
He's dumb.
So rude. When she made it back to this house, her stuff was on the curb. Not the curb, the curb. Bryce helps Hunt look for more information on the Crystallis demon. According to our work on the ancient vase, the Crystallis demon can be killed the old-fashioned way, aka beheading.
Yeah, or shooting. Or stabbing.
Shooting or stabbing, yeah, like just the head, really. Bryce finds that odd because if that was the case, how did it kill Danica and the pack?
How? What did it do that? It's
Maybe
true.
it didn't kill
sense.
Danica and the pack.
Yeah, maybe something else was responsible.
I'm starting to think that.
Okay.
Hunt gets a call. Philip Briggs has been transferred from the Asteria prison to Crescent City for them to question. He asks Bryce if she can handle talking to him, and she's upset and tells him to go away. She's like, no, this will be hard.
Yeah.
He leaves and waits for her outside. Lahaba tells Bryce not to blame Athy, and she needs to try to make more friends, because she can see Bryce is getting sad again, like she did last, like a couple summers ago.
Yeah.
22 months ago.
When Danica, her best friend.
When Danica, her former friend,
died.
former friend Danica, what's her last name? Fendir died. That's such a legendary name. Ugh.
It is.
Chapter 35. Bryce and Hunt are in the basement of the condominium. Wait. Bryce and Hunt are in the basement of the comitium, where the interrogation rooms are. They enter a room where Philip Briggs is chained to a table and chair. Bryce is horrified by how gaunt and hollow looking he is, and his eyes were empty and hopeless. Before they start questioning him, Briggs asks him what month it is. I almost said, what does mouth do?
What is mouth?
It was like this weird.
What'd your mouth do?
What did Briggs ask? What that mouth do? I don't know. It was like this weird thing that was coming from my back of my head.
I wish it would have came out.
Briggs asks them what month it is. Hunt tells him the date, April 12th, year 1535.
Oh.
Wait, 1535.
15,000?
15,000.
Oh, smokes.
That's a lot of years.
That is a lot of years. Oh my God. I'm getting anxiety.
That makes me have anxiety too, yeah. Briggs can't believe he has only been in prison for 2 years. Bryce tells him they have questions about the bombing at the White Raven. Briggs can't believe they suspect him, as he has no outside contact, like
nobody,
outside of the prison.
I don't have any allies out there anymore.
Yeah. He didn't even know what year it was. He could be faking that though.
Oh, yeah,
they're so crazy.
True. Yeah, you could be lying.
Yeah, it's so easy I could ask right now what the year is. That doesn't mean that I don't know the year. 2024.
That's true.
Bryce and Hunt admit to being investigating. No. Bryce and Hunt admit to be investigating Danica and the Pack murders and the Luna horn. Briggs comments on how what?
It's Luna's horn. It's Luna's horn.
Not the Luna horn?
It's not the Luna horn.
Damn it. Briggs comments on how the 33rd has finally realized he wasn't guilty, but Hunt tells him he hasn't been cleared of anything. Briggs tells them he wouldn't have killed Danica because he liked her. When Hunt and Bryce show disbelief, he tells them that Danica actually found him a few weeks before his initial arrest. And he admitted to having sympathy for the humans. Briggs comment. Oh, I don't get it. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Oh,
so he thought Danica had empathy or sympathy for the humans.
Yes.
And he said how Danica's best friend, being half human, being treated poorly, and warning him that if he doesn't stop his plans, that he could be arrested.
Right. So she gave him a warning first before he just went in and arrested him.
Yeah.
In a show of empathy.
Oh, like twice, I think.
Yeah.
He appreciated the warning, but didn't heed it. The next time he saw Danica, her and her pack arrested him. When Hunt asked him why he didn't bring this up at his trial for the murders, Briggs was like, it wouldn't have mattered. The trial was a sham. He would have never released the information on Danica being a sympathizer because it might turn others off to their cause who were around her that may also help the rebellion.
Right,
and they need powerful veneer on their side.
That makes sense.
Veneer. This makes me reminds me like veneers, like when you put in your teeth. Mm-hmm. When questioned on his faction of the rebellion When questioned on if his faction of the rebellion could have been responsible for the bombing, he doesn't think so. But if they did, good for them. Hunt is disturbed, wondering, I know. Wondering if he himself was this disillusioned when he was part of Shahar's rebellion. Would he have listened to anyone trying to talk him out of the Battle of Mount Hermon? He has a foggy memory of Isaiah yelling at him in his tent doing just that. Philip Briggs asks if a lot of veneer died in the bombing. Bryce tells him not a single one, and she thanks him for answering their questions and leaves. Before Hunt can leave, Philip tells Hunt he has a lot of respect for him for his part in the Malachim rebellion, and that one day they will bring the bastards down.
The archangels, right?
Yeah.
In the veneer, in the asteri.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Before Hunt would have given his agreement, but this time he can't. He doesn't feel any better than Philip Briggs. Later at the apartment, Hunt and Bryce are on the couch watching the Sunball game. Bryce crosses Philip Briggs and the Curries off her suspect list. What is it? Oh, whatever.
What? Let me see.
It's his people. People. Curries.
Where is it at?
They're at the top.
I don't know.
Well, whatever.
I don't know what that is.
Bryce crosses Philip Briggs and his human faction off of her list.
I didn't do it.
She notes Hunt is in a bad mood and she questions him on it. He says nothing is wrong. Bryce finds herself checking him out. She's like, he's hot. She grabs his phone and takes a picture of him on the couch in his loungewear and sunball cap and sends a copy of the picture to herself. She asks again about his mood and he tells her that Philip Briggs brought up a lot of memories about Shahar and his own rebellion. Bryce immediately understands Hunt's mood and tells him he isn't like Philip Briggs. Hunt doesn't believe her, and she asks if he ever purposely planned on murdering innocents to further his cause, which he didn't.
Good.
But he points out that even that being the case, that is the only difference between Philip and himself. Bryce takes his hand and asks if it's still hatred that gets him through the day. He tells her for some things, yes, but not for everything. She once again tells him he isn't like Philip Briggs. He frowns and tries to pull away, but she holds on tight to his hand. Tells him Philip Briggs joined the human rebellion for the right reason, but is a bad person. Hunt is not. End of story.
Okay.
Bryce teases Hunt about his baseball hat before stealing it and placing it on her own head. She says that she says they should go over Danica's whereabouts again. They sit close enough that their thighs are touching, and there is sexual tension in the air. Hunt has an epiphany and points out the footage from the camera outside of the temples should be tested again because maybe the 33rd missed something.
Yeah, definitely check it again.
Check it once, check it twice. Bryce chews on her lip and watches Hunt. His thighs press against her harder, like as in challenged, waiting to see if she'll back down. Hunt asks if she thinks Danica knows who stole the horn and that's why she was killed. But Bryce doesn't think this can be because Danica didn't seem to care about the horn being stolen at all.
Right.
The horn, no. Hunt steals his hat back and puts it on backwards and tugs Bryce's braid, leaning back to watch the game. And that's it.
Yeah, just a short tug on the braid.
And then I'm not done.
Chapter?
No, it's mine.
And then I'm not done. And then I keep going.
Fucking hell.
What chapter is it?
Chapter 36. This is my last chapter.
Okay, good.
Bryce and Hunt managed to track Rune, Flynn, and Declan to the shooting range. Rune and Declan make bets that Flynn will miss the target. Tristan, Flynn, they call him Flynn.
Oh, yeah.
And Hunt and Bryce both silently feel envious of the obvious friendship between the three Fae males. Bryce asks Declan if he is willing to do some more hacking shit for her, giving the details of what they need with the footage outside the temple the night the horn was stolen. And he's like, yeah, sure, of course I will do it.
Declan is the tech guru of the group.
And Flynn is just like the hot guy.
Yeah.
He does other stuff.
He like fights. He's out in the field.
He fights, yeah. He's also hot. Bryce tells Rune she wants this kept quiet, especially from the Autumn King. Rune isn't happy, but Bryce says only for a few days, and if she hears that any of them talked, she'll be pissed. Rune tells Bryce she should give Hunt a demonstration of her handling a gun. She says she doesn't need to prove she can shoot a big gun to play with the big boys.
Ooh.
But she picks up the rifle anyway and prepares to shoot.
But I am going to shoot it because I want to.
But I'm going to do it because I'm a woman in feminism.
Yeah.
She shoots 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Flynn starts laughing that she missed 2 out of the 3 shots, but Deck and Hunt see that her aim was so precise that she hit the same spot 3 times.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. After Bryce puts the gun down, she looks at Hunt, and he can tell she is nervous about his reaction to her skills. He actually isn't, because he ends up taking his turn shooting, and his bullet goes straight through where her bullets did.
Oh.
Yeah.
It would be an amazing team with guns.
With guns. Specifically. He looks at Bryce, and her face is flushed, and her eyes are lit up, and they're just staring at each other in front of everyone. And no one is like responding to the 3 females. It's like Bryce and Hunt just looking at each other. Right. The other 3 are talking at them.
They're not saying anything.
It's so awkward. It's so weird. They silently communicate that they see each other and they like what they see. Well, literally the other 3 are talking to them during this whole thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Isaiah calls Hunt and tells them to get to the Asphodel Meadows right away because there was another murder.
Who? Isaiah?
Isaiah
calls
did.
him? Okay.
Isaiah was like, hey, you need to get here right now because there's been another murder.
Oh my gosh. Okay, chapter 37. Bryce puts on a fake calm that Hunt realized he fell for the last time that they did this. He dismisses Rune and company and asks Bryce if she wants him to handle it. She wants to go, though. She feels like she needs to go. But she doesn't want Rune and company to see her looking a mess about it because it's none of their business. So Hunt helps her calm down by taking deep breaths. It's really sweet. They fly to the crime scene, which was a seedy alley in Asphodel Meadows, like you just said. Bryce thinks about how she had never let anyone see her when her grief hit her. But seeing Hunt after his mission the other night made her think he'd understand. Did you skip that?
What? Say it again.
When, didn't Hunt come back after he, had a mission from, Micah to go kill, and he does it, but he goes right back to Bryce's apartment and then is just, in a coma, and she has to wash him?
No, that didn't happen. She didn't have to wash
later?
him. Yeah, I was going to say, no, he went into his room, and she was hey, I recorded the Sunball game, and she was like... And then he was like night.
And he had a weird feeling in his chest.
Yeah.
And so I just don't understand why.
No. They did. Wait, what?
So Bryce thinks about how she had never let anybody see her with her grief when her grief hits her like she's doing right now. But seeing Hunt after his mission the other night made her think he'd understand.
Oh, because he was kind of catatonic.
Oh.
I mean, he said one word, but he wasn't
and just went to bed. It was clearly affected.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, what?
Do you remember that scene?
Did I miss where they washed each other?
Is that in the second half?
It's got to be. I haven't.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was like, I don't even know.
The victim was a guard from Luna's temple that was on his way home, and he was on duty the night the horn was stolen. The cameras didn't catch anything, almost as if the killer knew exactly where they were and how to avoid them. If that were true, that would require some clearance. While they're gathering this information, Bryce notices a pattern in the location of all the murders. They are all within steps of the major avenues on top of the ley lines, which are natural channels for the first light to travel through the city. And the first light is just concentrated magic, of everything.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I think so.
I don't know.
Quote, maybe whoever is summoning this demon is drawing upon the power of these ley lines under the city to have the strength to summon it. If all the murders take place near them, maybe that's how the demon appeared. She asks Hunt to ask Victoria to check the cameras for temperature drops during the murders, which would indicate a demon summoning. Declan takes this moment to warn Bryce to be careful with Hunt.
Oh.
He's bad news. He's the Umbra Mortis. He's an assassin.
He's hot.
She waves a goodbye to Rune, who is talking to a stunning Medwitch, and her and Hunt leave. Hunt asks if her and Tristan Flynn have ever hooked up, and she's like, what the fuck? You want to tell me about your hookups? And he said they're not worth mentioning because Shahar ruined him for anyone else. And the words clang through her. He tells the story of how he fell in love with Shahar and her ideas. They talk about Bryce's dating history. She starts to talk about like Reed and stuff.
Yeah.
And she asks, you still have a thing for Shahar? And he says, until the day I die. And I'd be like, damn, well, we're breaking up, even though we're not together.
Yeah.
So Shahar is dead, right?
Shahar is dead.
Okay. Okay. The way they talk about her does not.
And died like a long time ago. Like,
okay, yeah.
200 years.
Okay. It makes it feel like she's still alive and just like.
No, Sandrill is the twin sister.
From somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But the way they talk about her.
That is, yeah.
Like, you still have a thing for her? She's dead. You can't have it. You still in love with someone? It just didn't make sense, but.
And they weren't mates, obviously, because it would have been said.
Right. It would have been said for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, she feels dumb for reading into their connection. Before they can leave, Sabine confronts Bryce about where her sword is, calls her a stupid slut, and spits at her feet. Bryce just pleads with Hunt to go and not to do anything. It's just so many times Sabine is like, where's my sword? And she just like turns around and walks away.
Yeah.
Later, Declan calls with the news that the video feed from the Temple the night the horn was stolen had been tampered with, and the part during the time the horn was stolen had been replaced with fake footage. He had looked up who was responsible for going to the footage. He was responsible for like checking the footage from that night, as they'd be the one with the clearance for that sort of thing. And it was Sabine, Danica's mother. Damn. I didn't see that coming.
Neither did
Chapter 38.
I actually did guess it.
You
actually.
did. I was like,
that I was gonna say, didn't I?
Yeah,
I did to you, didn't I? Yeah. So I did actually.
Like, I think it's Danica. I'm like, what?
I think it's
Sabine.
Well, I mean, they obviously
We
had
went there.
beef, right?
Yeah, I mean, she has like, we'll go through motive and stuff.
Yeah.
Chapter 38, Part 3, The Canyon. All the pieces kind of fit for Sabine to have stolen the horn. Wait, and killed Danica, right? Oh, wait, she would also have motive to kill Danica because everyone knows the Prime was considering skipping over Sabine to make Danica his heir. Hunt calls Isaiah for his notes during Sabine's questioning. Sabine had said, quote, Danica couldn't stay out of trouble. She could never keep her mouth shut. And look what became of her. Danica should have known better. She also calls Bryce a stupid slut again in this moment.
Oh.
Or, during that interview.
No reason. For
But
that.
why would Sabine want a broken artifact? They don't know. She could be doing all of this to undermine and weaken Micah's regime, which would ultimately lead to Sabine becoming the prime of all Valbarian shifters.
Shit.
So, motive.
Right.
It's possible if Danica witnessed Sabine steal the horn that she killed her for it. Bryce announces she needs to run alone. And Hunt's like, well, too fucking bad. And so they run together.
Cute.
She ran while thinking about Sabine, and her injured leg is still burning. Back at the apartment, Hunt notices Bryce's leg actually hurts her a whole bunch and often, but she just blows him off because it's important.
Yeah.
Chapter 39. Rune stops by the Medwitch clinic to talk to the same Medwitch he was talking to at the crime scene. She is beautiful. He is captivated by her and drawn to her. He's there to ask, maybe she has the horn.
Oh.
Like calls to like. No, I don't know. Here's...
Oh. I thought they were mates.
Maybe.
I was getting mate
They could be.
vibes because he was like, I never want to get married. Then he meets this Medwitch.
He
and he's
sees
like,
her.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, well, I've never seen one like that before.
Yeah.
He's there to ask her if there's any way that she can think of that a broken magical object might be repaired, a way it can be healed. And after thinking on it, she says there is no way that traditional magic could repair the horn, which she had guessed he was asking about. But if the object was treated as a living being, it might be able to be healed by advanced treatment methods involving the combination of magic and science, which is so weird.
So interesting.
But she's not well versed in such things. He asks if maybe the new queen, Hypaxia, might know something. And she's like, Hypaxia is still in mourning for her mother and will not receive visitors until the summit. Maybe you can ask her then. She prays he'll find his answers and hopes to see him again. And I wrote, they're in love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like right away.
Yeah.
I love it. Chapter 40. There's still a month from the summit and Sandriel is terrorizing everyone with her presence. Isaiah is here to tell Hunt that Victoria found something and to meet her at the lab and to be careful because Micah won't forget Bryce turning him down the way she did anytime soon. So weird.
So yeah, he definitely something.
Oh, I wrote down, it feels like Micah is looking for a reason to fuck Hunt over. Just like, give me a reason to like tack on, I don't know, trade you away or tack on more years.
Like, this was weird. Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Maybe he's always, I don't know.
I don't know.
We already know these old males and their obsessions with like young girls. I thought maybe he had like a little obsession.
Maybe. Still, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Hunt hauls Bryce into the air, into the rain to fly to the lab, and they flirt the whole time, and it's a little insufferable to me at the moment. They land at the lab, and Hunt introduces Bryce to Victoria, who is a wraith, and who is on their team, or whatever, the Triari. She was able to find temperature fluctuations from a few of the murders, which is evidence of the summoning. She detected a 77-degree dip in the span of 2 seconds.
77 degrees. That's a lot of dip.
Extreme.
That's like freezing, probably. 77 degrees.
If it's below freezing. It's okay. Say it was like right now, like 50.
Yeah, no, that would be like, yeah.
Crazy.
Someone would be like really
negative.
That doesn't seem correct.
It's interesting, but will they come from hell, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. They do come from hell.
Yeah, but it should be hotter. I was thinking.
Oh,
but hell might be in Iceland. Who knows?
That's true.
Who knows? Anyways, a demon was actually summoned last night and could be traced all over the wolf district of Moonwood. It looked like it was looking for someone or something because it didn't attack anyone. Hunt was touching Bryce's thigh throughout this reassuringly, and Victoria also gave him a warning look to be careful with Bryce. They keep warning them. Chapter 41. They stop at the gallery to pick up Syrinx, but Syrinx does not want to go out into the rain, and he's like digging his fingernails into the carpet, and it's really funny. They drop him off at the apartment, change clothes, and head to the Rose Gate. They look around for the demon and that Vic had spotted last night on the cameras, but there's no sign of it. They think maybe they're wrong about the ley lines, and Hunt thinks maybe Sabine and the Crystallos were using the sewers to get around unseen. So they're like, we gotta go to the sewers. She wants to check it out, but Hunt's like, but you didn't make the drop. And she's like, oh my God, like, drop it. I didn't mean that.
Drop it.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Then he says all the sewers lead into the Istros. Maybe the Many Waters folk have seen something. And Hunt has a Many Waters contact they could ask, but they'll wait till morning. It's called Many Waters. They have a long conversation about toy unicorns after Hunt finds a box of them in Bryce's closet, thinking the box had a vibrator in it. But the unicorns, do you remember that?
Yeah.
But the unicorns are Bryce's beloved toys. Not important at all except for the Hunt and Bryce dynamic. It was a long fucking scene.
Yeah, it really was a long scene.
Chapter 42. The next morning, Bryce and Hunt head to the shore of the Istros. They chat about the mer people. They refer to them as mer. And they talk about their underwater city. Quote, the river folk were notoriously secretive. Their city beneath the surface, the Blue Court, a place few who dwelled on land would ever see. One glass sub went in and out per day, and those on it traveled by invitation only. I just thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Super, super. I want to go there as a celebrated guest.
Oh, yeah. Same. Same. And celebrated specifically.
Yeah. I have to be like, have done something really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Or they just like are happy to have me, but like definitely not forced.
Definitely not forced.
Definitely not in a negative connotation.
Yeah. An auburn head of hair breaks the surface of the water a couple hundred yards away and then vanishes. They talk more about a mer classmate that Bryce once had, and the merman appears again, happy to see Hunt, and says, long time no see. Did Hunt call him before they went? Or did they just walk by the river?
Using the shell phone? Yeah, I don't know.
Or a gate?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is.
How did he know?
Because there's not cell phones down there.
No, you can't
I can't
use
imagine.
his phone underwater,
I
I don't
cannot
think.
imagine. Well, maybe.
They do have bubbles. They have air.
They do have air pockets.
Do they have electricity? Do they have Wi-Fi? I don't know.
Satellites.
Yeah. How does that work?
I don't know.
Anyways, Hunt introduces him to Bryce as Therian Kados, an old friend. The river sounds so dangerous, like just dipping your toes in is asking for trouble. Therian is hot, charming, and flirty. Hunt says they're here on official business. Therian and Bryce ask cues back and forth. They ask cues. They ask questions back and forth. And we find out Therian is the captain of intelligence for the River Queen. And he had been newly promoted, which is an interesting title. I don't know what it means. Oh my gosh. Therian makes a joke that he might decide he likes Bryce and, quote, bring her beneath. And I had to include this even though it doesn't come back in this book. But in his head, Hunt tells us that used to happen. Human brides would be carried down to their undersea courts and were kept there, trapped within the massive air bubbles that contained parts of their palaces and cities, unable to reach the surface.
Ooh.
And I wrote down, I'm not familiar with that definition of bride.
Oh.
Because they called her bride. They called them brides. And they were just, that's so morbid.
It is morbid.
Finally, they get to the questions. Hunt asks if he's seen anything unusual, and Therian knows bad shit has been going on, but doesn't seem to know anything, and he says he'll ask around. A black boat drifting toward the bone quarter catches their eye, and Therian says 5 marks, says it tips over. He's got a morbid sense of humor.
Yeah, beyond.
Bryce scowls at the insensitive joke, but Therian promises he won't bet on her sailing. And we all know Hunt's boat is going to tip right the fuck over before even leaving the shore. I thought that was funny. Then, behind them, an otter in a reflective yellow vest and a sealed wax message tube in its mouth leaps into the river and vanishes.
That was so cute.
It was so cute. And Bryce is like, oh, come on, an otter. I love an otter. They are very cute. And what they do in the city is relay tech-free messages between the Mer in the river and reapers in the bone quarter and the residents of Lunation.
Lunathian.
Lunation. That's what I wrote. So anyways, the otters just have to travel the river to get messages.
Yeah, that's so cool, though.
It is really cool. And I was thinking about them. I think Hunt said something like they came to the city, they found their place by doing this. So they're like kind of sentient.
Yeah, no, they are for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What kind of messages do you think the Reapers in the Bone Quarter need to send out? Like to the other...
I have no...
Like, what are they talking about?
It's probably illegal contraband, maybe.
No, yeah. Okay,
that's the... No. I don't know. Probably.
I don't know either. Bryce is delighted to have seen the otter and says they were part of the reason she moved here in the first place. Therian swims away, finally, with a promise to send an otter if he finds anything. At the gallery, Bryce is going through Jessica's paperwork, and Lahaba asks Hunt if Bryce is being mean to him, and he asks, what would you do if I said yes? And Lahaba said she'd burn her lunches for a month, which is so cute.
Lahaba.
It's endearing.
Yeah.
Hunt asks Bryce about Danica's jacket, which is like hanging up nearby. And the jacket says, quote, "Through love, all is possible." Bryce said she had kept it, so Sabine didn't get it and throw it away. The phrase was important to Danica because it was all the Oracle said to her. That comes back. You know it does.
Of course.
It's the same phrase that's inked in a foreign language on Bryce's back. Oh. They flirt for a minute, and Hunt says they need to focus on Sabine. Chapter 43. Bryce and Hunt head to the Wolves' Den in Moonwood to question Sabine. This has to be so fucking scary for Bryce because, like, that is her dead former best friend's mom.
I know.
And they think
and
that
everyone
she
there
killed
hates
Danica.
her.
Oh my God. They meet Amelie Ravenscroft, who is the alpha of the Black Rose Pack. She's a cunt. She tells Bryce she heard about a threesome she had with 2 Daemonaki, and Bryce just said, it was 3 actually. Then she calls her a stupid slut. And then another wolf comes out and says, why don't you go fuck someone in a bathroom, Quinlan? In short, the wolves hate her.
Hate her.
Anyway, they say they're here to see Sabine, and Amelie lets them in. Ethan is also there. And we remember Ethan was Connor's younger brother. And he abhors Bryce because she fucked someone in a bathroom after Connor confessed his love for her. And because she just like disappeared when Danica died.
But I do think it's mostly because of the... I think
Connor.
it's mostly because of that, which is so... They explain... Do you have that?
It's something like... I don't know if it's right here, but I think I did.
Okay, we can wait.
Okay.
We can circle back.
Okay, we'll circle
I'll
back.
Try to remember.
Why the wolves hate her.
Yes.
Anyways. They are... Okay, so they are brought to Sabine, who is still inquiring about her damn sword, to which Bryce never acknowledges. And I didn't understand that at forever.
I didn't either. Like, no quick, like, mention in your mind of where it might be. Like, not out loud, but just in the mind.
Right.
Like,
Well, she knows. We know,
sword,
right?
Where it is?
Yeah. It's at the gallery.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know if it was still at the gallery.
Yeah,
She just kept it at the gallery?
Yeah, Danica had left it there the night that she died, so Bryce maybe never moved it. I don't know where it's at this point.
Okay, so yeah, but that's not confirmed that she for sure left it at the gallery.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we skirting around this inside her head?
This has got to be important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're on the same page. Okay, let's see where I'm at. Anyway, they asked for confirmation that Danica was stationed at Luna's temple the night the horn was stolen, and Sabine says Danica wasn't there and she has nothing to do with the horn being stolen. They know she's lying now and think it was her. They think Sabine killed Danica. They leave fairly quickly, and Ethan and Emily trash talk Bryce the entire way out. Chapter 44. Hunt and Bryce. I don't think I did write it down.
Okay, so first of all, Emily hates Bryce.
Oh, I did write that down. Let me read this chapter and then...
Yeah, we can go.
Okay. It's not long. Chapter 44. Hunt and Bryce need a solid plan for catching Sabine actually summoning the Crystallis demon, but they don't really discuss how. Instead, Hunt asks why Emily hates Bryce. Because he understands the situation with Ethan. Basically, Emily had feelings for Connor since childhood, and Bryce is probably the reason Connor never returned her feelings. She mentions how people mock her for her leaked texts all the time. Her text messages were published in the papers.
Yeah.
That's insane. How she had to shut down all of her social media accounts, and a wolf pack made a song called I Just Hooked Up With Someone in the Bathroom, Don't Tell Connor.
That's
horrible.
horrible.
They posted it all over the place.
Horrible.
She literally almost chose to take her own life because of it.
That part made me cry.
Yeah.
I was crying reading that.
It gets sadder later. A call from Jupiter is what ended up saving her. They talk about how Bryce's stepfather, Randall, had taught Bryce how to shoot like every gun imaginable and knives and swords, and then they both have to go to work. Hunt thinks about how he didn't realize how badly Bryce had been treated by Sabine and the wolves, and that he should have interviewed Sabine by himself. And he knew Bryce's messages were leaked, but he never thought about how that might have affected her. Hunt is rewatching footage of the Crystallis demon and catches a glimpse of mist from the bone quarter and recalls how Bryce wasn't at Danica's sailing. Her boat sailed right through the gates that day, and he wonders how much of her is left over there. That's important too.
Oh. Is Danica gonna come back at all?
No spoilers.
Okay. Well, anyways, the wolves, like when you they always thought that Bryce and Connor were like mated.
Oh yeah, they were.
They assumed that they were literally mated.
Yeah, okay.
Or like mates or something. Not mated, but they were mates. And so when like wolves are loyal, so the second that she had agreed to a date, technically, and like then for them,
right,
they were as good as in a relationship.
Right.
And for everyone else in the world ever, that is not a relationship.
That's not the case.
They're not in a relationship. They haven't even gone out on the date.
Right. They literally just decided that it would happen.
Yeah. And like an hour prior to that, which is crazy. So that they just saw that as like a disgrace to Connor and
a betrayal.
And all that.
So they hate her.
Which I'm sure he would have been upset about it. But
but
I think
no one would have ever
it.
found out if this all hadn't gone down.
No, for sure.
Right.
And I think he would have forgiven it.
Yeah.
Like if he would have been alive right now. I think that they would have actually.
For sure. They had a potential if he wouldn't get murdered.
Yeah.
Chapter 45. Hunt goes out to meet his coworkers for a beer and makes sure Bryce is safe in her apartment and that she promises to stay there, which Bryce agrees to. She's on the phone with Juniper, who is the amazing, talented, fun ballet dancer, right? And she tries to encourage Bryce to dance again, but Bryce brushes it off. She called Fury too, but there was no answer. She tries to watch TV, but she's getting restless and feeling lonely, so she leaves. Hunt was only a half a beer in when Naomi called to say that Bryce left. He asks for their location, which is near Firo, which is the Five Roses district, remember? And he leaves to meet them. He meets Naomi and he meets Naomi. He meets Naomi and wait, okay, I got this.
Thank you. When it's me, I'm like, shit. At least
I keep wanting to say reveals.
Yeah.
He meets Naomi and Hunt relieves her of her babysitting duty. He confronts Bryce on her walk through a night garden. She tells him she was just out for a walk, that sometimes the quiet bothers her. They bicker back and forth and flirt, and cheeks are heating up, and they're too distracted to notice the Crystallos demon that slams into Hunt. Chapter 46. The sight of the demon was so much worse than Bryce remembered. The demon bites Hunt, and his lightning flutters out, and he tells Bryce to call for backup. Hunt and the demon are rolling around fighting, and the demon is getting the better of him. Bryce tries to shoot it, but misses, and it lunged for her, and then Hunt was there and broke its neck. Bryce shoots it just in case, and then Hunt cuts its head off, and then in half, and then in quarters, and then cut into its heart. That sounds so brutal.
You know,
Like
they have to
overkill.
make sure it's dead, dude.
Yeah, they can heal, I guess.
They think it's been causing a lot of problems.
They think it's the same one, and it might be.
Oh, do you think there are more than one?
It could be, right? People are continually summoning. I don't know.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
I didn't even think about that they thought it was the same one. But Hunt is fucked with the demon venom, which burns. And I don't know how, but a curvy young med witch is there and starts to help him. I don't know how she was able to show up so fast. He gets leeched and he tells the witch the venom nullified his magic. So the med witch had put leeches on him to suck the venom out, which is cool.
Such an old school way of dealing medicine.
Yeah. Naomi is there now, and then Micah shows up, the archangel himself. Michael asks who the demon attacked. Michael? I think I said Michael.
Michael. That is an archangel, though, in like the Bible.
Yeah, she did just cut off 3 letters from his name. Kind of.
Yeah.
Anyways, Micah asks who the demon attacked and who killed it, and he seems confused that it was Hunt. He wants to keep this incident from the press and turns the demon to ash. Bryce thinks, was this the same demon that killed Danica? Was the horn here somewhere? Hunt tells Bryce he thinks Sabine sent the demon either as a warning or to try to take them out. But it doesn't make sense to Bryce. Again, she thinks that demon didn't seem strong enough to take Danica and her pack out. Hunt lays out his Sabine theory to Micah, and Micah wants more proof. He wants concrete proof. Hunt then flies Bryce back to her apartment. Rune arrives on the scene just after Bryce and Hunt left. He inspects the demon's blood on a boulder nearby, and the medwitch that leeched Hunt, the same medwitch he'd visited at the clinic, tells him to be careful of the blood because they don't know what it can do. She tells Rune that she has an idea for more research that can be done, and she'll reach out with what she finds. And then and he's like thinking about that, and he turns around, and she's like on a broom, like shooting up into the sky, and she just left.
It's iconic. It's iconic. It's so funny. I'm obsessed.
Chapter 47. A storm hits Bryce and Hunt on the way back to her building. On the roof, in the rain, they are in a sort of embrace. They're like, tonight sucked. I'm glad you're not dead. And Hunt nuzzles Bryce's neck twice, and it's super hot. Things begin to slowly escalate when the metal door to the roof opens, and Sabine steps out and says, "Back the fuck up." How would you think she said it?
No, I think that was it.
Okay.
Back the fuck up. No, that's not right, is it?
That's not the right accent.
Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. I'm gonna call
this is her addition.
Back the fuck
Sabine.
up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up.
There you go.
That is it. You're right. I got it in the last one.
Chapter 48. Wait. Yep. Chapter 48. Hunt has his gun pointed at Sabine's head. Sabine's is pointed at Bryce's heart. Bryce asks where her little demon friend is. Hunt tries to bring his arm up to cover Bryce's heart, as she hasn't made the drop yet, as we know,
Duh.
and a shot to the heart would kill her. Sabine tells them to stop asking so many questions. You just had to show up to the den and ask your cues. Then Bryce accuses her of killing Danica, and Sabine was genuinely shocked at the accusation and angry. They lay out her motive: kill Danica and become the Prime, and the evidence. You wiped the footage from the horn theft and lied about Danica being there, and you talked shit about her after she died. Quote, Sabine lowered her gun, putting the safety back on. She trembled with barely restrained rage. I didn't steal anything, you stupid fucks, and I didn't kill my daughter. I was protecting her. Danica stole the horn.
Damn.
Danica. That, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, is Danica really a worse person that we know? What is going on?
Yeah, like, was she... Yeah.
Like, why did she steal it? For herself? For power? Like, what is going on here?
I don't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way.
You don't think it? Did you read past this?
No. I still just don't think it.
Yeah.
Danica was my queen. She was my wolf queen.
It's... R.I.P. Danica. She doesn't deserve what happens next.
Next?
Yeah.
The worst has already happened.
Like, her reputation doesn't deserve it.
Oh.
Maybe. No spoilers. Do you have a quote of the week?
Yeah. Through love, all is possible.
That's what I was going to put, but I changed it when I found it. Everyone is for sale. You just have to figure out the asking price.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
It might come back. Who would you be?
I would be Lahaba.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's a good
horny
one.
And tiny and on
she's
fire.
She's like constantly watching porn.
Like she's watching, like, yeah.
on her tablet.
There's like dating shows.
The Love is Blind of Crescent City.
Yeah. Yeah, just like tiny, horny, and on fire.
Hell yeah. I love that. I picked a full human living in fear. Oh no, I don't love myself.
No.
Who would you want to be?
Oh my God. Is there even Juniper?
Juniper's perfect and amazing and wonderful and very talented and so smart and so pretty.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good one.
She's like the most Bryce has just been she's just gone through far too much.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't go through all that. And then Danica's dead.
You wouldn't want to be that.
I wouldn't want to be dead. I couldn't be Sabine.
No.
Couldn't be Shahar or the other one.
Oh, Shahar Sandriel.
So that's Juniper.
All right. I picked Syrinx.
Okay.
Because Bryce loves him so much.
It's really good. I picked Danica's sword. No, I'm just kidding.
I picked the tattoo on Bryce's bag.
I picked Danica's leather jacket. I picked her little jelly bean baby thing.
What was its name?
I don't even remember.
Jelly Belly or something.
Jelly Belly something.
I picked Luna's the Luna horn.
I picked the Crystallis demon. No, I'm joking.
Oh, that's a good one. You want to just knock things up. Okay, who's your favorite character so far?
Oh my God. Dude, you know who I like? I like Declan and Flynn.
Oh, me too. You can tell that they have Rune's back 100%, even especially when it comes to Bryce.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that. I picked Lahaba. I think she's just a super fun character and like comedic relief. But I also think Jessica is super interesting.
She is interesting, and I actually don't think she's as mean as she comes across.
I agree. She's like the mean like mother hen, but also like is giving Bryce everything she needs money wise.
And it feels as though maybe she like feels like she has to have a reputation to gain respect.
Right. I think you're onto something.
I feel like that's kind of her thing.
I love that. Who's your least favorite character?
I would say the Crystallis demon.
Did you as attacking?
Inherently is always like killing or maybe potentially. And it's also just not like all that nice to look at.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun to look at.
Yeah.
I picked Ethan and the wolves at this point.
I get why Ethan's upset though. Like I do get it.
to bully her and harass her the way that they did.
To bully her was actually, I don't think, I believe he wasn't part of the bullying.
I don't think so either. I think
was.
he wasn't a part of it, but he didn't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, they're not cool, okay?
I just think it's so ironic that they're a part of the Onyx, right? It's whatever.
Ox.
And they're part of the Ox. And their whole duties are to like serve and protect kind of like the police. And, you know, that's their thing. Like they're practically police. Yeah. And then for them to bully a girl to the point of literal, like almost committing suicide is like the craziest thing in the entire, like it's such.
Yeah. And the public doesn't care
because of a murder because of the actions before a murder that she had no control over.
Right.
Like that's literally insane.
Yeah. Well, good for her for surviving that at the very least.
Yeah.
She's
seriously.
Next week we are we going to split it up again, do you think?
It's going to have to depend, probably.
Okay, it's going to depend. Read half of the next chapters just in case.
Yeah.
Or all of them, I guess. So yeah, any final thoughts on the first half? What do you think's gonna happen?
I have actually no fucking idea. Like there's like literally 0% of me that knows what's going on. There's too many there's too many like people that could potentially have done it. Yeah. There's just too many people that could have done it. Yeah. It's not even that I can rule out so many people. There's too many people that could have done it, that have motives, that like whatever. I mean, who in this world doesn't want power? Who in this world doesn't want like whatever? Right. I'm not 100% sure how it's all connected in terms of like, obviously she's somehow involved. I don't get how she
Danica?
Is. No, Bryce.
Oh, Bryce. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it feels like she's got some sort of stake in the game, but it's never touched her for half a second.
Ooh, yes, it has.
Well, we've already gotten scratched her. The Crystallis demon or the person that's controlling it, you're saying?
Yeah, like all of it.
All of it kind of wraps to her. Mm-hmm. Maybe she is part Crystallis demon. Who knows? Like,
ooh,
I don't know.
That's a good theory.
I had a theory that someone was like, you know, gray dreaming her and
controlling her.
And she was actually the one committing the murders.
They're like how Voldemort was controlling Ginny Weasley.
Yeah, no,
Chamber of Secrets.
And she doesn't know it because every single time a murder happens, she's like unconscious. She's like asleep, or like she like blacked out at the club. She blacked out after the club. So like I was like, oh, maybe that's connected to something because she seems to always be unconscious during the murders.
That's a good theory,
you know. But
I would have hated that.
Well, yeah, because to have killed all of them. Because especially the way that Danica screamed in her last moments.
Oh my God, yeah.
It implied that maybe she was devastated about who was killing her.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So
she's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Shit. The reveal is insane.
I don't know who, like, I can't, not one of these people make me be like, unless it's Fury or Juniper.
Right.
Like, those are the only two that would be like, oh my God.
Really?
Didn't see that coming. Besides Bryce, Juniper, and like no one else would shock me, I don't think.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for you to read the rest.
Okay. Is it, or like maybe Ember Quinlan would be one that would shock me like that.
Yeah.
But like no one else would be like, oh, like that crazy.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, you have motive. I see. I can see that.
Or that would just be like, that's the craziest thing ever. Like, oh my God, that's devastating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait for you to finish it.
Anyways.
I feel like I was going to say something, but I forget. So, are we done? Are we? Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, the next part, 3 out of 4. I don't know what I'm saying.
2 out of 3.
Wait, this may be 3 episodes or 4. That's all I'm saying.
This may be 3 episodes or 4.
I did not know that was to know at this moment.
Yeah, seriously.
No, it's not.
Staying on business.
Anyways.
All right. Love you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email us at litlibationspodcast@gmail.com.
That was a close one. We want to miss somebody.
Oh my God.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.